Picasso portraits. So the split face Picasso portrait is a very significant form of portraiture for Picasso. The idea that people have different sides to themselves, different personalities, and all of those are shown in his portraiture. So as we go through this, we are going to work on having both profile and frontal view portrait mixed together. And the way that we're going to do this is by working on each side. There we go. Separately. So if we divide our paper the same way we did with our regular portrait. So we divide it in half, and that's going to be each side of ours. And then we divide it again in half. And half, we have quarters. Those are the 4 sections that are going to map out our portrait. So we have the head and hair, we have eyes, we have nose, we have mouth. And these are the same proportions that we are going to use with both of ours. Now, we're going to go ahead and fold it. And here's how we know we've got it folded correctly. It kind of looks like a V. It makes a mountain on the table, so it comes up and down. This is how we know that middle part is going to be the middle of our face. So if I turn this over and start, I'm just going to sketch it out with my permanent marker to start with. Let's see, we're going to come down here, we're going to make it out here and come up and around. So our whole head shape is just going to be this big half circle. Really, really simple. See how that makes the middle of it here? So what's easy about this is we're going to go down the map the same exact way, except we're just doing one. So the first line, that's going to be our hair. So we're going to go right from that line out to the edge. And this is our hair with our texture. I'm not worried about a whole lot of details. We're sketching it out. Color, what you want to fill in with, we can go back and do that. So that's that first fold line. We're going to come to that second fold line. Right above that is the eye. So we have our eyelid, our iris, our pupil. If you wanted to add some details that way, we can go ahead and do that, but those are those all together. Coming down to our nose, it's going to come all the way down to this third line right above it. Now we've only got half of our nose, so I can do it just like that, and that's it. About a finger length underneath, halfway between there, we've got our mouth. And here's the thing, we've only got half of our mouth as well. Both lips all the way through. I went through that extremely fast because we've done this a bunch. You have the map to follow. You can watch the video as many times as you need. Here's the trick, our other side. So one, I'm going to start with pencil because we in fact have some erasing that we're going to do. So we've got the outside there, around, so most of it is kind of sort of there. It's a little bit more football shape, but you know what? It's okay because it's Cubist art. It's not super realistic. We are adding in different shapes. Here's where it's really, really tricky. So we are going to do an M shape. Coming down to our first line there, that's where our hair is. We are going to connect from there, put a dot there. Come down to your eye line, that's the line in the middle. Come into about the middle, put a dot there. Come down to your nose line. You are going to come out all the way to the edge of your paper. Ready? From your nose line, halfway down, we're going to come all the back in there. So halfway there, that's where our dot goes. And come out to the edge of your head and down just a little bit. So here's where it's a little bit trickier with our profile because it's looking at it from the side. We're going to come down with our head, which then comes into our eye and out to our nose. I'm going to hold it still here as we come out to our nose and around. We're coming back to our mouth and back out. Now, just because this is here does not mean this is set. We can change this because I probably come up a little bit more like that. But again, this is a Picasso portrait. So the outside of your head shape is no longer there. I'm going to get rid of that part right there. So you have your eye right here. So I'm going to do it this way. The outside of your eyeball. It's going to come back to that triangle still. Have your eyelashes right through there. You have your nose, which you can curve more, all of those. You have your mouth. Now your mouth and your nose aren't actually connected, so I'm going to bring that down, separate that just a little bit. We have our mouth, which has a little bit more of a heart shape. Now, when you open it up, you have both sets. Now, considering that this is a Picasso portrait, you then also have color. Picasso portraits have color based on feelings and emotions. So perhaps have more areas here. It's not all just one. We can come in and out. And just because I add one color does not mean that that's it. So let's do different shapes. You know what? That blue with some green. About some lighter green. Maybe each of these will become different. Now, just because I've done that does not also mean I can't come back and add in other details to make the different parts that I'm adding in stand out. So what I want you to do with your Picasso portrait, think about each of the different areas that you're filling in, the colors that can go with it, the emotions that might go with those colors. It's not realistic. It's a Picasso portrait. So think about how colors and feelings go together even patterns, different shapes, designs. It is entirely up to you. So different sections are filled in with different colors, even the background. So take your time with it, enjoy it. Think about how colors and feelings are sometimes connected. Think about how they're going to work together and how you are going to choose to represent your Picasso portrait.